It's late night talks with Toly here, and tonight is August 16, 2025. And we're gonna discuss the main political events of this day. And like my stream, like my video, and subscribe my channel and ask your question in chat. And we're gonna talk and discuss what's happening around. And today was a big day. Today was this summit in Alaska where Trump met Putin, and I'm gonna tell you what's happening and how it was. I'm gonna tell you my opinion, and we're gonna discuss results. If you believe there is some result, or maybe we have different opinions, different points of view. So you know how it started. Last few days we were waiting for this summit, and we had a really big expectation. I told you I was sure something gonna happen. Maybe we're gonna have a peace deal, or at least, ceasefire in Ukraine. And in couple words, nothing happened. It's no result. No result is also result. It's also something what we have to think about. So, and let's start. It looks like President Trump was getting ready for this summit really well, and he took it really serious, and preparation was really good, and everything showed what United States and President Trump is ready for a deal, for peace deal in Ukraine, and for a lot of collaborations with Russia, economical collaboration, and nuclear agreement about with nuclear weapons we have and they have. And what's happened? They met right in airfield. They pauses for journalists. They took pictures after they sat in President Trump's car, and we moved to this building. I don't know, I think it was right in this military base where it was. And we start negotiation. We started negotiation. Negotiations took like almost 3 hours, maybe 2:45. And at the end of this, it was press conference where President Trump, together with Putin, told to journalists what's happening. And Putin started the press conference. He was talking first. It was only 12 minutes. Hi guys, I see you here coming. Glad to see you here. So Putin started. He was talking 8.5 minutes. And he was talking about nothing, absolutely nothing. He was talking some stories not related to anything important. And after him, Trump started to talk, and he said, "No deal." It was his first phrase. There is no deal today. But we have some constructive negotiation, we have some progress, stuff like this, but we have no deal. So I thought it's fail, but Trump himself say it was 10 of 10, it was really good, nice, we have good relationship, and this and that, but he left this summit before it ends. He canceled the dinner. We have a dinner about after this negotiation, and we had some more negotiations with wider group, because it was a lot of ministers and a lot of people from business over where we all supposed to talk between after first part. And also we supposed to go on military memorial to put flowers together with Putin and stuff like this. But Trump didn't want to do all this, so his action shows what it wasn't really successful, and it was absolutely not what he expected to have. And now I am thinking if it was misunderstanding between Trump and Putin, but we had good conversation. You know, it was a good conversation between him and Steve Witkoff, his guy who was talking with Putin many times. And again, President Trump was talking with Putin on the phone like 6 times, I guess, or 5, a lot of times. And still it was a misunderstanding. And my question was Putin lying to him? Why all this happened? Why we decided to go to Alaska to meet for what? What reason? I can't understand what was the reason of this meeting. Because it looks like Donald Trump did not get anything, absolutely no result. And Putin got something what he wanted, like, he broke international isolation because nobody wanted to talk to him. And now President Trump invited him to United States, and this was important. So it looks like Putin just wanted to take pictures with President Trump, in simple words. And you know, President Trump gave interview to Fox News, and he says it was really good and nice and everything okay, and it was better than he expected. But at real, he cannot express what was good. He say we have points, we only have like a little bit something what we couldn't decide right now, but what? No comments on this. We did not let to journalists, no questions, no nothing. We only have this 12 minutes press conference, 11 and a half even. And it's first time when President Trump did not want to answer a question of journalists in this place. And media, we did not know how to react. Russian media reacted faster, and Russian opposition media reacted faster. And now I see here our American mainstream media, they all say almost the same. Trump fails to secure Ukraine deal at Alaska summit with Putin. Financial Times says. CNN says. The latest on Ukraine war talks after Trump-Putin summit ends without a deal. So it's failed. Financial Times say backlash in Washington as Trump leaves Putin summit empty-handed. This is true. Associated Press say Trump leaves Alaska summit with Putin empty-handed after failing to reach a deal to end Ukraine war. So Ukraine war was the main purpose of this summit, and it's nothing happened. Nothing. Even this little bit, nothing happened. And the question is, what's next? Hiking and camping. Can you say free Palestine, please? Yes, I'm reading your message. We're talking about important stuff, you know. So it's a fail. It looks like it was a fail. And President Trump said he called to President Zelensky of Ukraine. And again, Donald Trump didn't say what he discussed with Zelensky. So it's everything looked very secretive. I don't know why, what to hide here. And it's a big problem. Because what does it mean? If we don't have peace agreement, or we don't have even, roadmap how to go to peace, no ceasefire, and nothing, that means the war will continue. And if United States is a part of the war or ally of one of the parties, so he's supposed to say something. Journalists asked President Trump about sanctions, new sanctions against Russia, about these tariffs on India and China for buying Russian oil, and still President Trump say he needs to think about like 2-3 weeks, and this is really much because it looks like President Trump wasn't ready to this way, how it happened. So it makes me thinking what Putin was lying to President Trump about this summit. And I'm sure we prepared some, paperwork to sign as a result of this summit. But at real, when Putin arrived with his team, nothing happened. Nothing happened. I'm sure, Putin was very decent and very nice. He talking nice, smart. Hi, Lexi. Hi, guys. Give me some likes, please. It's only 1 likes here. And subscribe my channel. So I'm thinking about Putin. Why Putin did this? It's a lot of rumors from Putin's team, what they also did not expect this way, what is gonna happen this way. So maybe something changed in Putin's mind right during this meeting. And one more thing I paid my attention, it's how Putin arrived and how he was acting over. He was really scared. He's in fear because our president Trump was walking alone from Air Force One. He stepped down on this stair from airplane and walking on this red carpet by himself. And Putin was walking towards him, but it was like 12, 13 bodyguards around him at this, airfield. It's nobody where no one person can be where. It's restricted area, it's military base, it's full of militaries, and nobody can be where. But still, Putin was with security. After, when we were walking towards this, stage with where we're supposed to take picture, and at this moment, our military airplanes, with B-2, with fighters, were flying over, like to show, honor to presidents. Putin got scared. He wasn't ready to hear this voice of, of these jets, and he was scared. Hi, Robert. How are you doing? Oh, show me a rabbit. Rabbit is not here with me today. He was here yesterday with me. So he was scared, and after we took few pictures, and we saw Putin did not feel good. He was nervous, and after he sat in the car together with President Trump in an American car, and I was thinking why it's happened, and I realized it was the safest place. He believed it's more safe when sit in his own car because President Trump is his place is more secure, and it's really weird because we have to know psychological picture of the person we're dealing with, and Putin now looks completely different. Completely different. He looks like he's sick or something. So we could expect anything, and this is, I think, what President Trump faced with. This situation is really weird. So what we were talking about, we don't know. President Trump did not tell us. Putin told us, formal words. It was 8-minute speech, but it was a lot of good words towards United States, towards President Trump and everything. But it was absolutely empty words. Empty words to just make it nice and pleasant to President Trump, with no sense. And President Trump, he did not even smile with press conference because everything was written on his face. You could read his face. He wasn't happy, and he left this summit right away. Right away. He left his guest at his house. So it shows a lot. what we have to expect next after this happened. I don't even know. You know, Putin even invited President Trump to Moscow to the next meeting, and he said, Trump said, no, he was joking back. So it's already was visible what he doesn't want to respond to this invitation right where, right now, because nothing gonna happen. And we were trying to talk about a meeting with Zelensky together with President Trump and Putin, but nothing definite, nothing definite. You know, we would like it happen, but we don't know when it's possible and stuff like this. So it's failure. It's failure. And it's a big problem for Ukraine. Ukraine have to stay strong because Putin is not gonna stop his attacks on Ukraine, and it's gonna be harder, I guess, because this is what's happening. Next thing is, you know, on September 3rd, it's gonna be big meeting in China, in Beijing, where Putin gonna go to meet with Chinese dictator Xi Jinping. And what we're gonna talk about, we don't know, but we know what China has plans to occupy Taiwan Island. And I think this is what we're talking about, you know, military allies, Russia and China. And President Trump did not have success with Russia. And it's really bad because we can face the war, and we have to defend Taiwan because we have a official agreement with Taiwan to defend them, and we can fight against China and Russia together. This is what that means. So it's not even Ukraine anymore, I guess, because Putin doesn't want hear nothing about Ukraine except what he wants. So he says it's easy to stop the war. Just give me what I want. And it's not only territories. He not only want to take 5 regions with Crimea, you know, eastern Ukraine. He want absolutely liquidate Ukrainian military. He wants to change the power. He wants to change President Zelensky to somebody, you know, loyal to Moscow. So he wants actually whole Ukraine. This is what he wants. And while he did not get it, he will not stop the war. How to act at this case? It's 2 ways. Or President Trump can just wash his hands and say to Zelensky, deal yourself. Europe's supposed to help you and stuff like this. So that means to give Ukraine to Putin. It means surrender. And the second way, support Ukraine, give them enough weapon. They can defend themselves, and Europe gonna help also because Europe, you know, under this attack too. So, and we have to see, and it's a really big dilemma for President Trump too. He's supposed to think about this. That's why he cannot answer the questions from journalists about what he's gonna do about this situation with Putin, because he does not know. And it looks absolutely what he was not prepared for this situation. He was sure everything gonna go another way, and he gonna have something, at least ceasefire, and we're gonna have a roadmap how to go out from the situation, how to end up the war, and start peace negotiation, a real peace negotiation between Russia and Ukraine. But Putin absolutely does not want it. And it looks like this summit only was because President Trump wanted to make sure Putin does not want peace. Putin wants to continue the war. So guys, ask me some more questions, give me some more likes, and subscribe my channel. Let's talk. You see, it's really historical event happened today. And I have analogies about You remember, or maybe you don't remember, when it was meeting in Reykjavik when President Reagan met President of Soviet Union, Gorbachev, and it was the same situation. It was Soviet army was in Afghanistan, and President Reagan asked Gorbachev to stop the war first, to talk about human rights in Soviet Union second, to let Jewish people move from Soviet Union. And it was a few things, and everywhere Gorbachev answered no to President Reagan. So in first look, this summit in 1986 in Reykjavik, it's somewhere in Europe up north, it looks like it was absolutely unsuccessful. But this summit put the beginning of a strategy of President Reagan to destroy Soviet Union. And after 3 years after this summit, Soviet Union fell down. And it wasn't a military action or something. It was, very smart policy of United States together with Great Britain and some European countries against this dictatorship, against this Soviet Union. We just made few economic steps, like we put oil prices down, and Soviet Union lost money because we did not have no more money to fight, to pay money for the war, and this is what's happened with Soviet Union. Now, I guess President Trump could do something like this, but it's another factors because uh, during that time, in 80s, Europe and United States was the hugest, biggest economies of the world, and it was another, demand in the world for oil, for stuff which Soviet Union produced. And when prices went down, nobody else wanted to buy Russian oil, Soviet oil, and it caused a crisis in Soviet Union. Now, United States together with European Union is very big, but we're not biggest in the world in economic sense, because there is China, huge country with huge economy, and almost 1.5 billion population, and also India, also huge economy with almost 1.5 billion population, and we need oil. We're ready to buy it from Russia. So if Western countries stop buying from Russia, it does not mean Russian economy gonna go down. And this is the problem, and I'm sure you have heard what President Trump and our senators, they were talking about big tariffs on India and China only because they buy Russian oil. So they won't stop these countries to buy Russian oil and gas. And I'm sure it's not going to be successful. So I don't see the leverage how to how to push Putin in right direction. Guys, ask me your questions. Let's talk. I'm talking. I see you're watching me, but nobody want to ask some questions and say opinion. It's important. What else interesting? Members of Russian delegation in Alaska, they were just walking in Anchorage street and taking pictures because nobody invited them on the table over there. So it looks like Russian delegation also was prepared for some successful steps, but something changed in the head of in Putin's head. That's why. And of course, we're gonna see reaction tomorrow. No result it's also result, and it's strong result because we have stuff to think about. to make conclusions what's really happened, because it's really important to make right conclusions and move forward with it. And of course, tomorrow we're gonna know way more about the situation, and I'm sure President Trump just here arrive back to Washington DC after he sleeps tomorrow morning. He is gonna answer next part of questions from journalists, and he is gonna tell us a lot of interesting stuff from this summit. He can't hide anything. He loves to talk. So, what's new updates? No, everyone, Wall Street Journal released the article, "No Russia-Ukraine war deal reached at Alaska summit." CNN says the same thing. You know, Bloomberg, Trump speaks to Zelensky, NATO leaders after meeting with Putin. Yes, he was speaking with all these people to say what? To say Putin is not gonna stop the war, but they know about this. It's nothing new for them. All these people, this is what we were talking about to President Trump before this summit started. You remember it was what it was in media. They all was making, you know, intrigues. They wanted to sabotage this summit. All these people. Why? Because they was sure that Putin not gonna stop the war, and they did not want President Trump push Ukraine to surrender. This is what we did not want, and it's happened. And President Trump doesn't look good now at this situation. That's why he is trying to stay optimistic. But if you see on his face at this press conference with Putin, his face is, you know, you can read on his face what's happened. Guys, I don't see no more questions, no more likes. Is it boring what I'm talking about? Tell me, please. Give me some reactions. It's important for me. Or Robert here. Fox said Putin did not want to speak to media because he would have to answer a real question that Russians are not allowed to ask. Do you think Russian people are afraid ask or complain about the war? No. It depends what kind of questions to ask about the war. You know, Russian people mostly support the war because this war is successful for Russia. Russia is gaining new territories, new people, and very happy with this. So, and what journalists could ask, if Putin gonna stop the war? I can answer, because he always answering the same, you know. What, how he always say, his answer is no. Short answer is no. He's not gonna stop the war. And this is what he told to President Trump. And he was explaining it for 2.5 hours to President Trump. Because, you know, it's really hard to believe. If you ask the man if you want to stop the war, a normal person gonna answer, yes, I want to stop the war. I just want to get what I need. So help me, let's talk. This is normal action. And Putin says no, because this and that. He has millions of reasons why he doesn't want to stop the war. But, you know, he is the problem. He is the problem. So, what is real questions? You know, I have to say, you know, regarding this war, Russian authorities and Putin himself were more open than Ukrainian authorities. They say true, they telling true usually. Of course, and why not, you know, why not trying to say awful stuff? Because, you know, it's military crimes happening over and stuff like this, and they say about this. No, it's not about this. He did not want to answer questions here in press conference with President Trump because they did not have anything to say, because nothing changed. even this small press conference for 11 minutes didn't have no sense, absolutely. Do you think it's right for Russian people to lose over 2,000 men a day? And also, do you think it's right for Putin to target civilians? The war, every war and any war always targets civilians. And 1,000 men a day, it's not much for Putin. It's absolutely not much. I think it's less. It's not 1,000. It's 1,000 people, 1,000 men together. Russians and Ukrainians and civilians and everyone, maybe 1,000 people a day. But I think it's even less. It's not so active. And civilian victims in Afghanistan and Iraq was way more than in Ukraine. So American army killed way more civilians in Iraq and Afghanistan than Russian army killing now in Ukraine. So it's, it's not good question to ask, because we are right or we are not. Yes, because we fight for freedom, and we fight for what? So, you know how it works, Robert. You know how it works. No, it's different that's a different kind of war now happening. We don't use tanks. We don't use all these armored vehicles. It's a drone war, and with territories and villages, we are mostly empty. So it's actually nobody to kill from civilians. We move. It's not like it's not huge artillery attacks, and it's not with carpet bombing. Nothing like this happening in Ukraine. It's very targeting, and it's also not because we so good in the war, because we don't have enough money. If we have money to drop a bomb to every square feet of Ukraine, of course we did it, but we just don't have this money. So we have to act accurate, which we doing. Drone cost one drone costs like $500, and how much cost artillery round? One round around $5,000-6,000. So, and one drone, one hit, and when you're using cannons and howitzer, it works different way. You need hundreds and hundreds rounds to get on target. So that's why it's a little bit different. And we don't care. We don't care about people. Here in West, we worth human lives, but where no. We're ready to lose like millions and millions of people. And we have, military duty in Russia, in Ukraine too. So it's very traditional, and this is what we always do in all our history. It's difficult to understand for us here. So what else happened? Today people talk only about this Alaska summit, and it was so hot before it started. And after it was done, people didn't know what to write. We didn't know how to react. With journalists from mainstream media, we didn't know how to react on what's happened over. And I can understand President Trump why he didn't know what to say. He say everything good, 10 points of 10 possible. Okay, we'll see what you're gonna tell us tomorrow. So please let me ask, do you agree with Putin and this war? No, I'm not agree with any war. No, I'm just telling we have to stay objective, objective. We have to tell facts what we have. Of course, Putin is not right with this war. I absolutely not agree. I'm, my position against Putin and against the war. And I believe Putin's supposed to be arrested, and people supposed to put him in a jail, and how it was, because he is a criminal, military criminal at first, and There is international warrant to his arrest, but the United States doesn't collaborate with this court who issued this warrant. And I agree with this warrant. That's why Putin's scared to fly anywhere. That's why he flew to Alaska, because it's only Russian territory and American next. Because in our countries, he just can be arrested, or we can try to arrest him. Of course, it's not that easy to arrest Putin, but some countries can try to do it. That's why he's scared. He doesn't want to go to a jail. It's easier. But this is where his place is. And I think he is gonna end up over there. Or he gonna just disappear, I guess. He is not good person. And he worse when, Hitler or Stalin or people like this. Because we don't know what's happening in his head. And we can't really, say how dangerous he is. And he's a really dangerous person, because we don't know what's happening in his head. So, and we don't know what to get ready for, what to prepare for. Maybe anything and everything. And he has a nuclear weapon, and he always, threaten to use this nuclear weapon in Ukraine also. So how to deal? I don't know the strategy how to deal with him. It's really not easy. It's really not easy. And every next step calls escalation and war getting bigger and bigger. And how to do it? To keep the war, smaller as possible, and at the same time win this war. I don't know. And at the same time, he doesn't want to talk about peace. He wants to fight, and he's getting ready. Here in America, media, we don't write about this, but Russian media, we clearly write how we're getting ready for the war. So we're getting prepared. We're not gonna stop. It doesn't look like this. I know what's happening over there, but I was sure, you can stop every moment. If even you getting ready, you getting new soldiers, you getting new weapons, but you can stop the war. But he is not gonna do it. He is not gonna do it until he dies. So it looks like a resolution, but who can do it? This person lives in a concrete box in the rock. It's kind of mental sick, I guess, because what do you need this life for? What your power? What is your power? How look with power? You're dictator of huge state, but still you can you can give your orders only to people who surrounding you. And who these people? This is usually securities, drivers, cook, people who serve you every day. So what difference you can pay for all these people just being like private person somewhere on the island, and live your life in pleasure with people who loves you? I can't explain it, but he wants the war. So guys, only 2 likes today, and we're already 40 minutes here. Give me please some more likes, and of course subscribe my channel and ask some more questions. You also don't know what to ask, because we were on so high expectations about this summit. Can you imagine if it was peace deal? Of course we had a lot of stuff to talk about. We could talk all night, because it's happiness if war stop. But it's nothing. Everyone disappointed. Everyone disappointed. And it's Friday night. People also, I think, in clubs or something, with families, family dinners. And really, don't want to talk about our news, and nothing really serious happened. Everyone shocked here in the United States, not because people don't know what to talk about, because we had too high expectation of this summit, and that's nothing happened as a result. But it was good try. But it was good try. And of course, Trump can say he did all he could, and it's nothing. Okay, guys, I think I wanna go. Oh, have you ever rode a horse with a car? Yes, of course. Of course, yes. I have my friend Enrina in Nevada. They have huge ranch and they have horses, and now you know they have wild horses. Not wild. Wild is not correct word. We have homeless horses. You know how sometimes we have homeless dogs and cats in the city, and we have this problem because these homeless horses were running uh, around and they dangerous. They don't know what to do. Yeah, I'm spending some time over there on his ranch, and I'm riding horse. Of course, yes. Okay, guys, let me go. Thank you for watching. Thank you for your question. Do you write English or Western? I don't know how I do it. Nobody teach me to do it. My friend just showed me how to do it. No, he just gave me example how he does this. His name is Jay, so he jumped on the horse, and I did the same. It's all depending on horse, you know. They have very different like dogs, and they have mood too. So it's like a pet, big pet, very smart, very good, very nice. So if you don't know how to do it, good horse gonna help you. They like it too. So it's easy. Like for me, it's easy. It was easy. Okay, let me guys go. Thank you for watching my show, and like English is soft saddle, Western has a horn on the saddle. No, it's hard saddle. It means I guess Western. I don't know. It's they have specific, I guess, because it's every region has specific. I'm not professional. It's just like spend time very good being on the range for weekend. And now it's this time Burning Man is starting. It's a lot of people over. This year I don't want to go, but usually I go there, and I don't like to stay at night, so I sleep somewhere like in the range, and at the evening I would just be in Burning Man, and after I drive back to ranch. This year I don't have time to go, and I don't know if I'm missing this or no. It's always hard. This week is hard. Okay, guys, thank you very much. Have a good night. Thank you. See you tomorrow.